our friends from Atikha. And of course, Department of Migrant Workers. Thank you. So to give the formal welcome remarks, I'd like to call Mr. Subhash Vitmani of FAST to deliver the welcome remarks.
Thank you very much. Yeah. First of all, good afternoon to all of you. I think you all have come on Sunday afternoon, which is the time most of us you get to spend with the fun and all those things. But this is very important. You have come. It shows your sincerity to this cause. So now, before much ado, I would like to take the names of the guests who have come all the way, and then I start little 2 minutes of talk, what we do. I welcome Honorary Assistant Secretary Venecio. He came all the way from Philippines. Yeah. His Excellency Mirado, I think he's on his way. Yeah. So let's welcome him in his absence as well. Then His Excellency Yusuf Tutu from Indonesian Embassy. Dignitaries from Embassy of Indonesia and Embassy of Philippines in Singapore. And then Miss Mai, our supporter, big supporter. Friends of ILO and President Lim Fang San of FAST, my colleagues from FAST and the staff of the FAST. Again, good afternoon to all of you. Let me introduce you first myself. I'm the Vice President of FAST, yeah, but I say I'm a humble soldier. So I'm just as humble as many of you here. My background is simple. I was the CEO of one of the Tata companies, where I used to run an organization with about 5,000 people, a lot of migrant workers. So I'm just trying to help now the migrant domestic workers. So this is only change of gender. We call it like otherwise. First, then on behalf of FAST, so this is after my little introduction. On behalf of FAST, I would like to thank ILO and Atika for entrusting FAST for the program which we had done there. It is basically, in addition to that, we have other partners have done a wonderful support to us. This is called Hope Initiative Alliance, Credit Association of Singapore, Media Transformation, and Pinowise, we just mentioned their name. They gave us a responsibility to start Safe and Fair pilot program, which was train the trainers, actually train the trainer. And this program we started last year with the support of all the partners I have mentioned a few seconds back. We have trained, with the help of this heavy train in our campus. Last year was 30, this year 38 girls have been trained these are trained trainers now. So they can percolate down their knowledge to the migrant domestic workers. So I think this is the great achievement they have done. And I'm sure in the future also we will be conducting more programs like this, because we feel financial education to our migrant workers is very, very important. Because what happens once they come here, after some time, the purpose is lost and they start spending money. So that's the reason I think Train the Trainers will come to our campus as well and train our girls. So I must acknowledge there are 200 girls have been trained. Means the trainers have trained them. So we have a big strength of people who are now the financially educated. I think that needs a round of applause for all the girls. Thank you. And I'm sure with this, the kind of training we are providing, and it will help these girls will get trained, and then when they go back to their place, they will be better off than when they came here. They will come out of the poverty trap, if I say that, much faster, and they will be with more confident of doing that. That's the trainer program has done it. Thank you so much. It was a pilot program. Now we must ramp it up and do more and more for everyone. Okay, having said that, one more thing I should add. In addition to that, the trainers program, we do the elderly caregiver program, which is largely subsidized by FAST. So I'll encourage all the participants who can join to join it and be part of it, be part of FAST, and see that how we can help you to train you more so that become elderly care probably. And we have seen at the moment we have 500, 600 girls are going for their training. There will be help to the community, help to the embassies, help to our girls, and I wish you all will support us and join FAST for these programs. Thank you so much and welcome you all again. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Pitmani. We would also like to acknowledge all the training participants who are here. Can you please stand up? Who are all the Filipino and Indonesian training participants? Please stand up. Please stand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now to give the program orientation acknowledgement also of the participants, I'd like to call in the Executive Director of ATICA, Overseas Workers Communities Initiatives, Ms. Eileen Constantino Peñas.
Thank you so much, Director Ande, actually for the acknowledgement of participants. It was well acknowledged earlier. But first and foremost, good afternoon to our Singaporean friends. Yes, salamat sir to our Indonesian colleagues. Did I say it right? Salamat sir. Okay. At isang mabiyayang hapon sa ating mga kababayan mula sa Pilipinas. Actually, our program is designed for 4 hours. Are you aware of that? It should be started at 3 in the afternoon and ends at 7 in the afternoon. And for that 4-hour program, it is a truly significant event because we will have 2 remarkable activities. So the 4-hour activity is divided into 2 remarkable activities. The first one is, today is the graduation program of the 3-Sunday training of trainers attended by both Filipinos and Indonesian trainers. And earlier, they were asked to stand up. And also, another remarkable activity for today's afternoon is the launching program of the Philippine government training program to ensure sustainable reintegration for overseas Filipino workers. As we get to today, it is about 150 participants. Yes, never mind blank tables there because all in all it is 25 tables. Yeah, so we're expecting around 50 participants or people gathered here today, and of course it is not possible to introduce one another. So it was earlier introduced and acknowledge all the institutions who are here all together. But let me also share with you that we have great number of participants coming from the graduates of the previous training. Meaning they're already the graduate of the trainers that we trained. May we know who are they? They were trained by Wilma, Anivi, Tinay, and the rest of the trainers. Who are those? May we see them? So they are already training up. And may I ask, who are the trainers that train the participants who are here? Can we have the trainers? All the trainers, wow! So we have 5 mighty Filipinas who conducted and cascaded the training to around 200, if I'm not mistaken, as I heard. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. The composition of our participants today, we have the graduating batch, as mentioned, the graduating batch of training of trainers. We have 18 from Indonesia and 20 from the Philippines. And then we have the Pinoy Wise trainers graduates of the previous training of trainers, meaning the first batch of trainers under the ILO Safe and Fair program. We also have the graduates of previous training conducted by these trainers. And we also have invited guests who are expected to be future attendees of our trainings. May we know the new faces in the group? Who were invited by our friends. New faces, yes. Because I know that the invitation was extended to other group. So thank you very much. We have invited guests and of course our implementing partners in the table here. So all together, let's hear the important messages of the program, and all together also we will enjoy the solidarity dinner after the program. So this is such a blessed and blissful day to each and every one. So let's have a good time ahead. Thank you.
Napalo si Ma'am Ivy.
Thank you so much, Eileen. I think we have a good crowd here. I cannot count each and every one of you, but I think we have the target. We have reached the target and maybe even exceeded the target of number of participants. So it's good to hear numbers like 200. That means 200 have already benefited from the trainings that have been cascaded, and we look forward to hundreds and thousands more. Not this year, but maybe next year. Promise, thousands more. Those who attended the training, we will train more migrant workers so that they can also benefit from the training that you have undergone. Promise?
Yes.
Okay. So now, I'd like to call on the project manager of the ILO Safe and Fair Program, Economic Empowerment of Women Migrant Workers in the ASEAN Project, Ms. Mai Dizon Añenuevo.
Thank you very much, Ande. Actually, the graduation program is one of my favorite activity of this project. No, we call it ILO Safe and Fair Project because this project is actually a big project. It's an ASEAN project being implemented by ILO. The regional office is in Thailand, and it is implemented in 6 countries. Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam. And our project is one component of the ILO Safe and Fair project. And our component involves economic empowerment of women migrant workers in ASEAN. There is really specific focus on women, this initiative, and it is supported by European Union, United Nations Spotlight Initiative. And the focus is on providing support for women migrant workers. And those of us who are trained in the training of trainer, you know what it means for this program becoming gender responsive, right? Yeah, why is it gender responsive? Because this training program mainstream the need for gender equality and shared responsibility in the lives of our migrant women and their families. Economic empowerment goes beyond financial literacy, although we know that this is one of the major components. But our long years of work in the Philippines in the field of economic empowerment showed us that financial literacy of the migrants alone is not enough. So we designed a program to be a family approach program where we encourage the need for family goal setting, for discussing. It's not only about finances, although I said it's important, but more importantly, it is about communication. It is the need to communicate with the family, with all the extended members of the family who are who have the problem of depending on the remittances. Because we know that the reason, the challenge really for our women migrant workers is that despite long years of work abroad, and despite higher wages compared to when they were in their home country, in this case Indonesia and Philippines, we know that a big number of them are not able to save. To be able for them to go home and say, I have achieved my goal for going out of the country. And actually, this is the reason why Atikha developed this training program. We've been doing this training program for more than 10 years. We started it in the Philippines. Actually, we started this training program as a community-based training program. And because Atikha is working really at the grassroots level, we know the realities. We know the realities of the women migrant workers, but we also know the realities of families left behind. Of course, here we see them as they are our problems. They are what causes us stress, right? In our discussion,
Yes.
family expectations causes so much stress because we cannot cope with family expectation. But having worked in the community, we can tell you, being a member, being part of an OFW family, growing up without parents, growing up without mothers, having the spouse far away for years and years is also very challenging. So to be able to achieve our goal, we really need to have this communication. And this is how we base this program, this ILO Economic Empowerment Program. And it goes beyond the training. This program, we had 3 Sundays when we after the training of trainer, we cascaded it to the women migrant workers. The ideal situation is they are there for 12, the training is for 12 hours, 3 Sundays. And I applaud our trainers, our trainers who really devoted their time to cascade this training program to more than 100, almost 200 migrant workers. And they devoted their Sundays. Instead of resting, they were conducting this training program to other migrant workers. And we have evaluated the training program because the training doesn't only involve these 3 Sundays, but after that there is mentoring session. Mentoring meaning they develop WhatsApp group to be able to connect again. They set meetings so that they can ask them after the training, what changed in your behavior? Because this training program looks at not only awareness in terms of knowledge, gaining knowledge, but more importantly, what we are after is being able to practice what we learn, to be able to change our behavior in terms of doing goal setting as a family, in terms of sharing family responsibility, in terms of saving and investing to be able to reach our goal. And after the mentoring, we also link them to other programs and services. So it is this kind of, we call it step ladder training program approach, which we hope that all of us, a lot of migrant workers would be able to avail. And I'm so thankful with our partners from the FAST, from our Department of Migrant Workers, from our Migrant Workers Welfare Office from OWA, and Indonesian Embassy, and our Indonesian Labor Office, because we know that this training program is in good hands. We know that unlike other initiatives before, we are aware that there is really commitment because of the outcome of this project. There's really commitment for everybody to extend a helping hand so that we will be able to change the lives of other migrant workers. And I would like to thank you, all of you, for doing this. We call it in Tagalog, bayanihan. Bayanihan means being able to extend helping hands to others. And I applaud all of you. I think you deserve all a round of applause. Because I know migrant work is difficult. It's very, very challenging. It's time-consuming, and your time is valuable. But I'm so touched that you devote your Sundays, instead of resting, to being able to volunteer your services, to be able to touch other people's lives. So I am so thankful for all of you for doing this, and for our partners for providing the necessary assistance to be able to do that, so that we will be able to touch the lives of other migrant workers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mai. The training is for 2 days, Mai. Three Sundays. 3 Sundays. But do you know that Atikha runs a longer training back in the Philippines? 5 days. 5 full days of training. And I actually attended that last April. So it's not just about reintegration, preparedness, and financial planning. Because the first part of the training, it's also a 2-day training on pre-migration orientation seminar. This training is for migrant workers, prospective migrant workers in the Philippines, meaning those who are still in the process, hopefully, of making a decision of whether they want to go abroad or not. And it includes also training for members of their families. As mentioned by Mai earlier, I think what makes this training distinct from the other financial literacy and other trainings is that it does not just target the migrant worker, but also involves their families in the training, either directly through the pre-migration orientation seminars or indirectly through the assignments given in this reintegration, preparedness, and financial planning session. So this is something that we really want to do, not just for the sake of trainings, because there have been a lot of trainings that have already been conducted, but I think this is a life skill that we all need to learn, especially migrant workers and members of their families, because we all know the heartbreaking stories of migrant workers who have been working overseas for a long time. And time passes by so quickly, and by the time that they end their work overseas, they realize that they have taken care of their families and other people, but they have forgotten to take care of themselves. So we want to be able to change that mindset for those who are still on site working as migrant workers, and the next generation of migrant workers and the families that will be left behind in the Philippines. We want them to be part of not just depending on the remittances and the income of the migrant worker, but also contributing to a family income, hopefully, that will change their lives, not just the lives of the migrant workers who sacrifice a lot to be away from their families. So we look forward to more trainings in the future, this year and next year and in the years to come. At this point, we'd like to call on Minister Consular from the Consular Section of the Indonesian Embassy in Singapore, Mr. Joseph Tutu.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Tutu. I'm from the Indonesian Embassy. Very thankful that I'm being invited this afternoon by Pak Subas, colleague from Atika. Actually, FAST is always active. Not only active, but also fast one. Because very fast. We met, I think, Pak William and colleagues
See you
Ibu
in another
and Pak Cedric
in another
William
touch
2 months ago.
video.
And
Thank you.
during the meeting, you said